Hello, Centralia. I'm Shane Lothar.
And I'm Rachel Roddy.
And this is Centralia On Air. Thank you so much for joining us. Last week on the show, Rachel and I talked about some of our fondest childhood memories and our most used phone apps. Hey, speaking of cell phones, did you know mobile phones have 18 times more bacteria on them than toilet handles?
Ugh.
Ew.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I clean mine a lot with Germ-X.
Your toilet handle?
No, well, yeah, but my phone.
Oh, okay, sure.
But speaking of toilets, did you know back in 2013, scientists developed a way to charge mobile phones via urine? I guess we know why. They all have that extra bacteria on them.
I mean, that's how I charge my phone, right? Don't you? I have the new UT iPhone.
Oh my gosh. Oh my.
Anyways, that was last week. But this is this week.
That's right. On today's show, we have interim president Damon Harbison from SSM in studio. He stopped by to talk to us all about SSM. All right, Damon, thank you so much for being here with us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. I'm absolutely delighted to be here, and even more delighted to and blessed to be back in town. Ironically enough, I'm actually from Irvington originally, and I was born at the hospital that I'm now president at. So it's a great story. And not only that, I was washing dishes as a high schooler, scrubbing the pots and pans, and then when I went on to my imaging career at Kaskaskia College, I actually came back to St. Mary's and at Good Samaritan in Mount Vernon to do my clinical training. And then I did leave the area after that. But I tell you what, it's just such a neat story that I think everyone can relate to because everyone's got a story or I know somebody. So what it's really helped me is hit the ground running because we've already got these trusting relationships built. And if I don't know you personally, I know someone that you know. And it's just something that a small town has and it's just worth so much.
So, imaging, clinicals, you've been involved in the healthcare system for a long time, right?
Sure. When I was a little lad, I was trying to figure out what in the world am I going to do when I grow up. Two things I really loved was business and healthcare. And I just love to serve. And I've always been that way ever since I was a little tot. So in high school, I'm trying to figure out what to do with this interest in business and medicine. I would have loved to have been a doctor or a nurse. I just didn't think that that was the right path for me, and I really reflected on that a lot. I looked at different schools and curriculums, and I said, you know what, I like high technology as well. So let's go to a route where I can use my personal skills and networking skills as well as my love for technology and business. So I enrolled into Kaskaskia College's radiologic technology program to become a radiologic technologist. Absolutely loved it. Of course, I had the best clinical spots and the best curriculum there at Kaskaskia. So I really went ahead and jumped right into a bachelor's level program at Washington University where I furthered my training in radiation to do radiation therapy. So then I had a concentration in radiation to treat cancer patients. And while I was doing that, I thought, I got to do this one step farther. Robots are entering the market with radiation therapy. So I got really interested in what they call the cyber knife, which is using ionizing radiation. You can shape that beam around the tumor and have less ill effects to the normal tissue around it. So I was certified in that, and I call that my baby because in St. Louis, I was instrumental in the team bringing that technology to St. Louis and actually 2 spots within the metro area. So that really excites me, as you can see. Also, I would do my master's level classes even when I was still in school for the clinical, and I started that at WashU, but then transferred over to SIUE in Edwardsville and had a great experience to get my master's in business administration at that campus. Absolutely beautiful. Teachers are wonderful. Real life teachers. They would be business owners and CEOs of companies as well as the faculty. So I'm learning stuff at night and I'm implementing it the next morning as I'm managing radiation oncology at St. Louis University.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Man, business plus medicine. You really hit the nail on the head, president of a hospital, huh?
Yeah, and I think that really helps because you're always looking to get a foot in, right? And in the hospital world, you've got a lot of folks graduating now with master's degree, MBAs, masters, MHAs, and masters in healthcare administration. But sometimes they're missing that foot in, and I had my foot in, and I just worked very hard, and I just concentrated on serving others and really focusing on results and how to do things differently. And I think that caught the eye of leadership wherever I was at the time, and can just continue to grow in my career. And now I'm absolutely blessed to be the president at St. Mary's Hospital here in Centralia.
That's great.
Okay, so as president of SSM, what are some of your responsibilities?
Oh, well, my responsibility as the president of SSM Health, St. Mary's in Centralia, is to make sure that we are doing what's right for the community, making sure that we have a safe environment, high quality care, talented individuals, whether it's a volunteer, a nurse, an x-ray tech, a physician, a nurse practitioner, all the way up to the top, to make sure everyone is utilizing their scope, their training to the fullest ability, to make sure that we have the best technology in the area, so that individuals in our community don't leave to go for healthcare. And I think that's something that that goes over time, where you think that you have to leave your community to get the best healthcare, and that's not true. In fact, we are winning awards all the time on safety and quality. We're getting recognized as centers of excellence. National bodies, regulatory bodies come in, and we just do a top-notch job. So part of my job is also to be a cheerleader. So I spend a lot of my time trying to figure out how to boost the positivity that we actually have in our community, because it truly is amazing. And with that does come change. And it's not just bricks and mortar. It's new buildings. It's bringing on new docs, bringing on new technology, bringing on a new culture. Healthcare has changed a lot. Healthcare is a lot like technology. Things change rapidly. You can't, when you go out to get your cell phone, time you walk it out of your store, there's a new model or two that are better. Healthcare is a lot like that too, with the processes, the regulations, the bundles that we use for safety, the technology that we use. So keeping ahead of that and making sure that our community, our families, our patients have access to that high quality, that's my job. And there's many ways to talk about how to do that. I don't do it from my office. I believe that all the answers are on the front line. So if it's a nursing unit, I'm going to talk to the nurses and the patients and families. I'm going to the physician lounge. I'm talking to the docs. I'm going to the ED. I'm talking to the patients. What's your experience? How can we do better? And I talk a lot about with the staff, they are the ones that hold the answers. So how can we work together to essentially undo all the workarounds that have been happening? And this goes for any industry, but healthcare is a prime example. A Band-Aid, a workaround, so that we could solve a problem. Really go back to those basics and say, what adds value to our patient and family? And there are things that maybe the patient doesn't care about that a regulatory body does that we just have to do, but we really need to take and do a self-examination of each area to say, why are we doing all these things? What can we undo? What can we deselect from so that we don't have to work our time and resources on this and replace it with something more purposeful? So maybe it's a nursing director not working on a report, but doing more rounds with family. Maybe it's a physician working on their electronic medical record. How can I make that faster, quicker, and more efficient for them so they can see more patients or be home for dinner with their family? So that's a lot of the things that I do is I go around asking the questions and then providing recommendations. But I always seal it up with the why. Because if you don't have the buy-in from the staff, the providers, the community of the why, then it's not going to succeed. And that's one thing that I really, really concentrate. Getting out to where the work is being done, because that's where the answers are, and making sure that all the barriers that I can help alleviate so they can do their job at top of scope is there.
Yeah. I think you kind of started to get on this topic, but what are some of your short-term and long-term goals for the hospital?
Yeah. That's a great question. So short and long-term goals. Short-term, first off, is jumping right into the community as well as the hospital. What are we missing, or what does the community think that we're missing that we need to bring to our health ministry so that we don't have to, so patients don't feel like they need to leave the community. And a lot of times we actually have it. People just don't know about it. And that's one thing that I get to work with Rose about, is scream it from the rooftops on advertising and marketing. Here's what we've got. Here's what we can do for you and your family. Here's the awards and accolades that we get. I've been here 12 weeks, and I've been the recipient for the hospital for 5 awards. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with me, and I don't want that to get confused. The team that we have at St. Mary's, and actually in our entire region in Mount Vernon as well, because we're working as a team, is really top notch, and we're really doing some incredible things. We just need to make sure everyone knows about it.
Okay, so tell us, what do you love about SSM? What sets you guys apart from others?
Well, SSM, there's a ton of stuff to be so proud of and to be a part of. And I guess I'll use data first. So when we talk about every 2 weeks, we sit down with new employees during their orientation as a leadership group, and we welcome them to our family. And of course, that burning question is, well, why did you come here? Are you out of school? Are you with a competitor? Is it a career change? Maybe you were in the factories before and now you want to be a CNA, whatever the case is. And 99% of the time, people say the mission. The mission, the mission, the mission.
And so the mission of SSM Health here in Southern Illinois is to continue the healing ministry of Jesus Christ. So we're a Catholic organization, and the healing power presence is something that makes us truly unique.
People want to do good. And at SSM, we do the right things, and the right things happen for us. We have ethics on the top of our mind. We have quality. We have safety. We want to serve. I talked about that personally earlier, but the entire organization is about serving others and continuing our mission. And our core values are just so solid, and it gives us the foundation to make any decisions that we're going to make. So many good things about SSM, but I'd say the number one is the mission itself, because everything else is based around it. So when we're making a decision to bring a new doctor to the community or buy a new piece of equipment, we actually go and reflect on, does this align with our mission? Are we furthering better health care in a community as Jesus Christ would? And making sure that answer is yes. And if not, then we need to reevaluate that decision.
Anything we missed?
While I've got the microphone, which is so dangerous for me, I don't like to put it down so much. But I've got to mention to the listeners what great investments that we are bringing. SSM Health is bringing to the community. We have already put a brand new hospital at Good Samaritan in Mount Vernon. It's just doing absolutely fabulous. At St. Mary's, we are in the middle of doing a master facility plan that will greatly bring an investment to Centralia and the surrounding communities. With that, we've already finished our imaging project, which brought us a large bore MRI. So that helps with folks that are claustrophobic, or even larger patients that always feared the bore, or the circle of the MRI. We've upgraded our LINAC system, which is the equipment that is used to treat cancer. So we've got the top of the line for that as well. Also, we're redoing our laboratory. We're building a brand new lab. So they're working on their old stuff now. We're building an all new lab, and in the summer we'll hit a switch and they'll move over to their new home. Talk about employee satisfaction. Everything's new and shiny and more space, and it works with the actual flow of the job. If you can imagine, when the hospital was designed many years ago, things have changed. So as we do new construction projects, we want to make sure that the process and the construction match. We're also working on the facade. We're about halfway done on the exterior of the buildings. It looks like we have new buildings, but we're actually just doing the new facade. And we're about halfway through, and then we'll be wrapping that up in the next year. We're also doing some beautification projects on the outside of the building, hopefully adding some lights down Pleasant Avenue, doing a new road down there, just making it a more inviting entrance. And then two of our bigger projects that we're working on right now, hammers aren't going yet, but what we're looking into is a whole new surgery platform. We have a brand new same-day surgery location and area for them. Now it's time to upgrade the actual OR, so actually where the surgery is performed. So we are working diligently on that expansion right now, the planning, and that does take some time, as well as redoing our ED. And the ED is a front door for every hospital. That's where patients come in for emergencies. They're in they're in the most stressful time of their life. Something has happened to them or their family members, and this is the point, the access where are you going to be treated in the ED and go home, or be admitted? And so we want that experience, that front door, to look and feel the best that we possibly can. So not only are we doing bricks and mortar and getting a new space and expanded space and more areas that are more inviting, that would give an experience that you expect as a consumer, but also changing the actual culture. And we have excellence or greatness with that now, but we want to make it at every single experience, at every single SSM Health site, whether it's our express clinic, whether it's a doctor's appointment in primary care, whether it's in our ED, whether it's in our hospital. You get my point. Every interaction counts, and every detail counts.
Yep, it's a lot of little things adding up to a bigger, better experience.
Absolutely, and that's what we want. That's our mission. And I'm here because I want to do what is right. I want to do what growth can we have here in this community? What technology? What docs? What procedures that weren't done here before or are done but people don't know about?
Yeah.
There's no reason that we can't do more here.
All right, you're listening to Centralia On Air with Shane and Rachel. We have Damon Harbison in studio today. Coming up, we're going to have some fun and quiz Damon about something somewhat related to his profession. This is Centralia On Air. Shane and Rachel here. This is Centralia On Air. We have Damon Harbison from SSM in studio today. So, Damon, we know you know SSM Health, St. Mary's Hospital, inside and out. But how much do you know about St. Mary herself? Let's find out. Okay, question 1. In the Bible, Mary gives birth to Jesus in Bethlehem, but that's not her hometown. So where was Mary from? Was it Nazareth, Bethany, or Galilee?
I am going to guess Nazareth.
You guessed correctly, sir. Yeah, Mary did some traveling. She got around a little bit. She went with Joseph to Bethlehem. She went to Judah to visit Elizabeth, and she lived in Egypt for a while, and then finally back to Nazareth, her hometown. Good job.
Wonderful.
Okay, question 2. Mary was greeted by an angel to announce that she would carry the Son of God. What was that angel's name? Michael, Gabriel, or Samuel?
Gabriel. Angel
Right.
Gabriel.
2 for 2.
Yeah, there we go. After the message, Mary didn't miss a beat. Her reply to the big news, I am the Lord's servant, ready to serve.
Okay, question 3. While Mary is greeted by the angel Gabriel, she also learns exciting news about her cousin Elizabeth. What had happened to Elizabeth? Was it she recently became very rich, she had been raised from the dead, or she too was pregnant?
I think it's a family affair here, and we're celebrating 2 pregnancies.
Yeah, we've got a couple pregos here. This was big news because Elizabeth was thought to be too old to conceive. So Mary hopped on a donkey and traveled about 80 miles to go share in the excitement of their news together. 3 for 3.
There we go. We haven't had this in a long time.
No.
All right, question 4, true or false? There are many documented sightings of an apparition of St. Mary appearing to people.
This is true.
Yeah.
Absolutely
This is
true.
very true. I had no idea. These have happened all over the world. The Pope has even made some of these appearances part of official Catholic teaching. There's been sightings in Mexico, France, Poland, and many other places. Sometimes the apparition even speaks, usually a word of prayer or encouragement. I had no idea.
I didn't either.
There's pictures, there's
Oh,
video. Yeah.
It's a big thing.
Okay, last one. Question 5. The Hail Mary is a Catholic prayer asking for the intercession of the Virgin Mary. But football also has Hail Marys. What is a Hail Mary in football?
Hail Mary in football is when you really maybe not have a great plan, but you throw it far and hard all the way down, and you're basically praying that your team will catch that ball.
Yeah. Please, Mary, intercede.
Hail Mary,
That's
full
right.
of grace.
Yeah, it's a long pass made in desperation, usually near the end of the game, usually when that's the last hope. They don't really have a plan. One last attempt to put some points on the board and win the game.
Ooh,
5 for
nice.
5, right?
Yeah.
Good job,
awesome.
Damon.
And just for the listeners, I did not get these questions ahead of time, but I did just go through RCIA. So now I just confirmed Catholic at Easter weekend. So I may have had some work done over the past year to help me out. So
Yeah, this is,
Congratulations.
thank you.
real
That's
life,
awesome.
real life application.
Yeah.
So I guess I had a year to study for these.
Yeah, it's a long year, too. All right. Damon, thank you so much for being here today with us and playing along. We hope to have you back again.
That would be just fantastic. I had a lot of fun, and I appreciate what you do, and I also appreciate you letting us come on.
And Rose is here with us, too, if you heard her. So thank you, Rose, for all that you do. Stick around. We'll be right back. You're listening to Centralia On Air.
Shane and Rachel here. You're listening to Centralia On Air. Rachel, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Good. I've been working on all of my gardening stuff, been out in the garden.
Yeah, you're an outdoorsy girl, aren't you?
Yes, I love to mow the lawn. I love to pull weeds and
These
weed
are
eat
all
and-
things I hate.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, man.
Get out there in the garden, tomatoes and cabbage and
And dirt and bugs and sunburns. It
Yes.
sounds great.
it's wonderful.
Well, this coming week is actually National Gardening Week. I bet you wish every week was Gardening Week, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Always just wish I had more time in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not an outdoorsy kind of guy, are you?
Well, funny you should say that, because actually I just spent this past weekend.
Whoa, wait.
Huh?
You know what?
What?
We don't have time for that. We don't want to know what you did last weekend. You know why?
Why?
Because it's time for the top 5.
What better way to celebrate National Gardening Week than with a top 5 things you probably didn't know about gardening?
Okay, number 1. In the 1600s, tulip bulbs in Holland were worth more than gold.
What? Cha-ching!
Yeah.
This was during the Dutch Golden Age, a time where Dutch art, science, and trade were all regarded as the most acclaimed in the world, and when tulip bulbs became the hottest commodity on the market.
In March 1637, some variety of tulip bulbs were selling for more than 10 times the annual income of a skilled craftsman. Economists generally recognize this as the first recorded economic bubble, similar to the dot-com bubble of the 90s.
So why were they so expensive? Well, long story short, tulips were originally scarce to the area and became very popular for their ability to survive the harsh conditions. Wealthy Dutch merchants began trading them as luxury items, and then a tulip virus went around and caused some really cool colors to come out of the flowers. And people just kept paying more and more money for these exotic plants, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, so now we don't have that problem. It's the problem of squirrels digging them up.
Oh, now the squirrels are going nuts for them.
Yes, but you talked about colors and how you can change the color.
Mm-hmm.
You can also change the color of your hydrangea plant with things like coffee grounds, things like that. It'll take a while, but you just like put your coffee grounds like around your plant, like your hydrangea plant, and it can change the color. Like mine's blue right now, so I could probably try to change it to pink or something, white.
With some Folgers?
Yeah. Isn't that
Interesting.
cool?
Yeah.
There's my fun fact.
Hey, I like it.
Okay, but let's get on to number 2. There are over 10,000 kinds of tomatoes. There are so many different sizes, colors, and flavors. But another fun fact.
Yeah, hit me.
Yeah, my mom, she obviously has a garden too. She got this tomato plant from somebody that was like, it's like 40 years old, like back then, like the kind of tomatoes that she used to eat.
Right.
Like back when she was a kid. Well, that's probably like 50 years old. Okay.
Yeah, give her a 10.
Okay, yeah. But anyway, she's all excited about it. Can't wait to try what the tomato tastes like.
From her childhood.
From her childhood.
It's like a time machine.
Yeah.
Cool. There are cherry tomatoes, Tiny Tim tomatoes, early girls, big boys, better boys, best boys,
Oh my gosh.
Oregon Spring tomatoes,
What?
Wisconsin 51s. Feel free to stop me whenever you want to.
Okay, Shane, that's enough.
Okay.
But hey, I got a question for you. Since tomatoes are technically a fruit, does that make ketchup a smoothie?
Oh, Rachel.
Come on.
You wish. Ugh. Number 3, let's talk about corn. Like how an ear of corn has 600 to 800 kernels. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. Or that corn will always have an even number of rows on each cob.
I gotta test this.
Me too.
Because obviously I don't count my corn kernels.
Do you like corn on the cob?
Yeah, I do, but my teeth don't.
Yeah. It gets stuck in your teeth.
Yeah, that too, and it just kind of hurts. I don't have great teeth.
Do you like to cook it on the grill?
I have in the past, but so my mother-in-law a few years ago showed me a little trick.
What is it?
You cook up your corn on the cob, and then you stand it up and slice it off.
Yes.
And then I get the taste that I like, but I'm not punishing my teeth.
Yeah.
So that's what I tend to do.
There you go.
What about how corn isn't just found in our food and medicine? It's also in many non-food items like fireworks, glue, paint, laundry detergent, makeup, and even some plastics.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Corn is like one of those miracle foods, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a joke for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Why were all the corn stalks afraid of Jimmy?
I don't know. Tell me.
'Cause Jimmy cracked corn, he don't care.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Jimmy.
All right, I got one for you.
Okay.
Do you know how much a pirate pays for corn?
How much?
A buccaneer.
Oh!
Buckeye. No, I'm kidding.
Arr.
Arr, matey.
Okay, we're getting a little too corny in here.
Yeah, we are.
Let's move on to number 4.
Corny.
She just got it. All right, number 4. Well, if you're feeling sick and you need a little extra vitamin C, don't bother reaching for the orange juice. Just grab a bell pepper because they have more vitamin C than citrus fruits.
Yeah, and it's not just peppers. Kale, broccoli, strawberries, and cauliflower all have more vitamin C than an orange.
I feel like we've talked about this before. It might have been one of our trivia questions, maybe for Jamie.
Oh, yeah, it was.
I think we tried tripping
Kale.
her up on some vitamin C.
Yeah, remember, because I think the answer was kale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, speaking of broccoli, I'm actually growing broccoli in my garden right now, and I'm super excited because anybody that I've talked to said it's difficult to grow broccoli, but mine are doing really well right now.
Yeah?
I don't know what it is or what I'm doing. It's that talking to your plants.
Do you sing to them?
Oh, yeah. And get out there and grow, broccoli, grow.
You must be the broccoli whisperer.
Yeah. My neighbors are out there looking at me like, what is wrong with this girl?
Rachel Riley lost her mind.
Yeah. Okay, last on our list of things you probably didn't know about gardening, number 5. This is insane to me. A tablespoon of soil has more living organisms in it than all people on Earth. What?
Yeah, this is nuts.
Yeah.
I still don't know if I believe it. There's more than 7 billion little creatures in a scoop of dirt.
Yep. Good soil is the source of many different types of food and water for a huge range of living organisms, some so tiny you need the world's strongest microscope to see.
All the way up to bigger animals like badgers and rabbits. But they're probably not going to fit in a tablespoon of dirt.
Probs not.
Probs not. All right, that's our top 5 for this week. You're listening to Centralia On Air with Shane and Rachel. Coming up next, we've got the community calendar.
Welcome back. You're listening to Centralia on Air with Shane and Rachel. Here's a look at your community calendar. BCMW Head Start has openings for preschool classes ages 3 to 5 years old in Bond, Clinton, Marion, and Washington counties for the 2018-2019 school year. For more information, call Maria at 532-4890, extension 140.
The Amy Center annual golf benefit will be at Greenview Golf Course in Centralia on Saturday, June 9th. Cost is $80. Fee includes green fees, golf cart, and lunch. Registration will start at 8 o'clock, tee off at 9. Lunch at 1 p.m. will be provided. There will be a $10,000 hole-in-one cash prize and a hole-in-one Harley-Davidson motorcycle prize. Plus, many other prizes will be given away. For registration or more information, call 244-2100.
The 63rd Annual Wren Lake Days starting Wednesday, June 13th and ending Saturday, June 16th in Miners Memorial Park in Cesar. Check out bands, food, and fun every night.
The City of Centralia is hosting the Centralia Works Job Fair on Thursday, June 14th from 1 to 7 p.m. at the Centralia Recreation Complex, located at 115 East 2nd Street in Centralia.
The Marion County Relay for Life of Centralia will take place on Friday, June 15th, starting at 4 p.m. in Fairview Park in Centralia.
A free gun safety class will be held at the VFW Post 2055 in Centralia on Wednesday, June 20th and Thursday, June 21st from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You must have this class before you can get your hunting license. This is not a concealed carry class. For more information, please contact the VFW at 532-9551 after 2 p.m.
The 3rd Annual Chris Hopkins Memorial Ride on Saturday, June 30th. The ride will start at Roadhouse Harley-Davidson in Mount Vernon, $20 per rider and $5 per passenger. For more information, call Carissa at 618-204-4962.
Market days in Mount Vernon at Veterans Park every Saturday through September from 8 to 2 p.m.
And that's a look at your community calendar on X95 in the Big 1210. If you have an event you would like to share with us, you can email wiley1210@gmail.com. Or for more information about these events and others, check out our website at x95radio.com.
That's it for this week. If you like what you hear, come back next Sunday at 11 on X95 in the Big 1210. You can also find past shows on YouTube. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook at X95WRXX. She's Rachel Roddy.
He's Shane Lothar.
And this was Centralia On Air.